All right, let's build the ultimate self-defense jiu-jitsu fighter. And we're gonna start from the top-down approach. We have to think about defense, right? If there's a self-defense approach, someone attacking, someone's charging, someone's grabbing, someone's hitting, we now need to defend against it. And getting in the right position first to respond is, well, our first step. From there, we'll break down closing the distance and then how to get a hold of them. I got two of my coaches here, Coach Chris and Coach Cole. Chris is our strength coach, purple belt and BJJ, just a stud all-around athlete. Cole is an MMA fighter, striking coach, Krav Maga, black belt, ninja of all ninja things. Pick my nose, ready to reset. Okay, we're gonna have a little fun right now, all right? So, let's say Cole's just pissed off, drunk idiot. Look at him, you know? Something definitely wrong with this guy, right? So, he's gonna come at Chris, and what most people do is that it's gonna start maybe a grab, maybe a fuck you, whatever. And Chris is gonna respond appropriately. Okay, I'm not gonna tell Chris what to do yet, but I wanna think about what was gonna happen when someone's closing a distance and is coming at him.
So it's like this?
Well, I mean, okay, let's go back to the beginning. I'm kind of glad it happened this way, and I always wanted it to happen this way. Chris had no clue what was gonna happen, and he let Cole basically get in his range. And that's what first thing I want to change in someone's mindset. Cole was now charging me. I'm not going to let him to a point where he can actually get his hands on me, right? And if he was coming, it's like, whoa, hey bro, I'm taking a step back, all right? If you are right-handed, very, very simple response, guys. We have a whole video on stance and footwork just on this. But if I'm coming, charged, approach, getting my structure, taking a nice strong base, and our hands are coming out and open, okay? I want to grab something, okay? We're jiu-jitsu athletes. I'm not going to put my hands nice and close to my cheeks and get ready to brawl. I'm not going to put my hands in pocket and run. I'm not going to chest bump. What the fuck? All I want you to do now is get nice and long, all right? Just get your hands, thumbs around your temple line, and you're just kind of creating space between you and Cole, all right? So he comes at you again. Boom. Perfect. Okay, now, we go right back to that statement right where your hands are on. Now, if you saw right at the end, Chris had an outside control, Cole was charging, and this is a great time for us to establish a clinch. And we start looking, let me jump in now, all right? So, boom, our hands are outside, and now we start his head. Okay, we get to a single collar tie position. If I have an outside position, I'm also able to start pummeling and looking for underhook control. I could be on the outside position, pummel, to an overhook control, okay? I gotta be in the outside position, pummel down for a body lock or double leg takedown, okay? So it starts giving us a little bit of tools or a way to get in, all right? So first thing we're gonna look at was a build for a single collar tie, and we're gonna look at two takedowns. One, simple foot sweep. Two, Osoto Gari. All right, let's build in first that foot sweep. The foot sweep, the Ashi, Bari, Ashi, there's different names. In judo, classify every little fucking foot sweep as some different name. The simple movement we're thinking about is just sweeping him off his feet, okay? Beautiful man, we want to sweep him off his feet, take advantage of him. So I got weird, okay. My defensive position, he was charging, grabbing, bam. I have that defensive position, I'm gonna follow for a clinch, all right? My right hand is like a hook behind the base of his skull. My left hand right around his wrist, could be anywhere, could have inside bias control, but right now I'm just gonna have simple wrist control. My right foot succumb to his left foot, okay? And then I'm not gonna take you down yet. On a step, and start guiding Cole into my leg, okay? My goal, use my instep to catch right around this area. Sometimes they'll trip over the calf, the Achilles. Sometimes they come right to instep itself. Honestly, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. We just want him tumbling over. So he's charging, boom. I get my clinch, I step, whoop, and then you get a nice little trip, okay? Let's spin Cole right here for a second and talk about the position I end up in, knee on belly. I am not committing my whole body to the ground, getting inside control, because I got douchebag Chris behind me, he might kick me in the head. I want to have 360 degrees awareness where I can move my body and still hit him and control him at the same time. We're talking about self-defense. Okay, hey man, he's charging, bam. I connect my clinch, I step on the outside, steer, whoop, and sweep down, boom, and hit. Boom. So I want to, so let's reset that, okay? I know it's very, we're used to grabbing, right? I want her hands out and open first. So his attack out, he's like, you know, you're just like, yeah, right? And here's those fingers that are coming in. Now you've already beat. Now you can start connecting, okay? Boom. Good, pummels in. Right foot steps to the outside, yep. And then right idea, yep. Good, knee on belly at the end. Think it was almost like you're trying to throw his head over your left foot. Boom. Nice, much better. Knee on belly, good. Do you want to play southpaw? Is that be easier for you?
Oh, yeah.
Well, so I'm gonna talk about this, okay? Cole is left-handed. No, you'll stay orthodox, okay? So when we are dealing with someone who is left-handed, obviously it's 10% of the population, not a huge number, but we have to address that people are left-handed. I want the left-handed fighter or athlete to fight left-handed. I want them to go against someone typically who is right-handed. If Chris switched his stance right now to southpaw, the rarity, of course it happens. Carlos Candelario, one of our UFC fighters, fought Jake Hadley. They were both southpaws. It happens sometimes, but it's a rarity. So I'd rather see Chris go left leg lead like he would instinctually, power hand behind, and then deal with Cole that way, okay? So now same thing. As he traps in, Cole defends, boom, builds. Now his right foot's already there, so he takes a small step with his right foot on the outside, boom, and then trips left. There you go. And yep, the idea is staying sticky. Yeah. I want the end, okay? Let's say I took Chris down and all of a sudden I let him go and he's right back to his feet. Learn to finish our takedown. Throwing a mic last night, did some sort of technique in class and it really worked. And he was so excited by it. He looked over at me like, holy shit, look what I did. And by the time he went to finish it, the guy already countered and got on top. He was so excited, but it was just, you know, he got lost in the moment. So I want you to go and think, same process. We finished all the way through. Better. That's it, good. We started off talking about getting someone aggressive and going for our fence, and that's more of a charging approach, right? We play a zombie drill sometimes. The class can be a zombie approach, where he's got a high guard, you can walk him down, I use my hands to start counterbalancing and moving around Cole to keep my range, keep my fence position. But what happens if our structure changes? What happens if Cole decides to grab and hit? He gets in our face, our fence or long range guard fails us. Now what do we do? So we have to take that, now go to a high guard. Split frame, we'll sometimes call it. And then look for a connection, overhook, underhook, tie clinch, and we'll use one of our techniques called Osoto Gari. Cole will be coming in my range again, and maybe he reaches out and touches me to the left, but I want him to cock that big right hand and throw a haymaker. And we're sure we can find tons of footage online where how many times have you seen it? Fuck you, dude, and bam. All right, one of the most common responses, I got caught unawares, I'm paying attention over here, Cole's in my face, and now he touches, boom. Okay, now I have to get my high guard up. Guys, I just had neck surgery 6.5 weeks ago. Can you do this, please? Yeah. Okay, so when he throws that punch, I want that right hand nice and high and glued. Almost, we remove this punch for a second. I'm trying to get Chris's elbow in front of his nose, and his other hand nice and covered, okay? Simple instinctual response, all right? We're not gonna go too crazy in detail. We're talking about Jiu-Jitsu self-defense here. We're not trying to get in a weaponized offense counter striking game. I just want him covered up so if he's getting barrage, he has something to do. So let's put that punch back in there again. You stay right there, go ahead, boom. Now, if you look at Chris's elbow, it's a little bit under, or maybe got over, his hand is over. Chris has a choice. Is he gonna flow in for an overhook control or an underhook control? What do you feel better with? Overhook. Okay, so we go. He pushes in and establishes overhook control. I'm gonna spin you guys, okay? There we go, beautiful. All right. Now, one thing about this is head position. Believe it or not, Cole is actually winning this battle right now. If you see all Chris just did with his head, how he put it inside Cole's jawline, now it's forcing Cole to look away, and Chris is dominating the chaos zone. If it was reversed like it was before, you see, even though Chris has the overhook, Cole actually has a strong underhook now and is dominating that space. So the overhook-underhook relationship is very important, and it's won by the head position. Since we're gonna throw him, take him down, I want Chris to reinforce this hand right here and framing against his neck. Okay, let me jump in really quick. Right hand isn't travel here to create that space. My forehead may have been in there first, and if I want to, I'm gonna replace my hand with my forehead. Now I can steer Cole a little bit. Let's look at our relationship right now. We're both left leg lead. My left leg real deep in the middle. And I want to get this leg again. We're gonna do very similar footwork we did for the foot creep. I'm gonna step my right leg. And instead of tripping my left, I just let the leg come close to me, all right? I'll go over here so you guys can see again. I step my right, take a small change on my left. Boom. That loads this leg and gets the whole flat back while all my power is that way. I clamp on the arm, use my arm now to steer his chin over his heel. I hang on his arm like I'm hanging on a rope. My rear leg will come through the hole. I match my knees to his knee, and then I bow, steer, and then elevate my right heel. Cole comes down, and I follow him again to knee on belly. Osoto Gari, it is the first takedown technique I ever teach, and definitely one of them I use a ton. It's always there. And I have definitely a few videos on Osoto Gari on our channel. Boom, he flows in for that overhook, reframes that face, steps, good, and then very nice. Now, Chris committed to the ground. There's nothing wrong with that, but my thought process, we're talking about combat, talking about self-defense. If I commit to the ground now, I'm forced to be engaged in the ground. I find that when I'm taking someone down, let's kind of go for that same thing again. Boom, boom. I take him down. If I float, I end here. I let him go at the apex of the throw. Now I make a decision where I'm gonna go. Do I go knee on belly and punch in the face because attacker number 2 is right there? Or am I a police officer and I need to really get a hold of this guy and go through the wrestling procedure? Or is it a drunk buddy at a fight? I just need to calm him down and maybe I hold in side control. Or am I in a grappling class and I want to finish him with side control submission? So I could choose to go to the ground, but I want that choice. Knee on belly gives me that choice. I'm not staying far away and letting him move. I have, a connection still, but I choose where to go next. Crash in, good. Step, turn, pivot, and very nice. A big bomb, fuck you, bam, enter in. Your right foot's gonna step to his outside toe. Good, you're here. Back step and pivot, stomp. Your left foot, right there, good. Now you got him. Pause, 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 pause. Hand, elbow in front of jaw, so you have this feeling, okay? Now lean, hang on the rope, okay? Drive his jaw towards me, so his weight is over, now trip with your right leg behind him. Very good, okay? Same thing, you chose the ground, go to the ground. When you're finishing, try to let go of the arm and the knee on belly. Boom, good, step, cheat steps, pivot, and go. Boom, very nice, boom. Cheat step, pivot, step, and go. Nice, yeah, very good, good. Oh, he got the look away, the distraction. Yup, and load and go. Excellent, excellent. This is a Jiu-Jitsu self-defense video, and it's not about striking, but it doesn't mean, we are not gonna use strikes in different scenarios. Let me talk about that for a second. So, I was in an overhook situation, all right? I framed here. How many times in MMA you've seen a disconnect? Bam, bam, all right? I'm just adding a little bit of space. MMA, it's a great study of combat. There's a lot of pure martial artists out there who give me a lot of shit saying MMA is great for self-defense or is a martial art in itself, but it really is. It's very customizable to the individual. But we all fight vastly different. We all use different skill sets. We're all instinctual. So MMA is like my martial art instead of mixed martial arts. What fighter, what attribute, what skill is that person using that I could use as well? What person is doing illegal things? Bam, illegal in MMA, great for self-defense. John Jones eye pokes.
Out former champion standing before. Timeout. Look at the replay. Oh yeah, right in there, man. Where he was fully mounted, but that one elbow connected with the right side of the face of Rampage.
Progress of John Jones from his first fight against Guzman to today, it's really staggering.
Great for, horrible for MMA. They changed the rules, they changed the fucking gloves because of the eye poke. The last 2 UFCs, they added more curve to the glove. But great for self-defense because obviously, you put some fingers in the eye. Can't see, you can't fight, bro.
Rule number 3. A man can't see, he can't fight.
It works pretty well. So, yeah, man, I love a headbutt. Any time someone's in this whole idea of chest bumping, man, you are getting begged to have your fucking nose broken or you're missing a few of your front teeth after. Don't be a douchebag. Yo, fuck you, bro. That's just stupid, all right? And if anybody ever does that to you, dome them. Simple. Just dome them. That'll change everything. Hardest part of the body, right? We have that Gladiator movie.
The top of the head, kid. Hardest part of the body.
Okay. All right. Matt Brown, one of my favorite UFC fighters when it comes to clinch fighting and clinch elbows, all right? Very, very awesome in the clinch. Randy Couture, the master of dirty boxing, starting from a tie clinch. Obviously, both hands are committed, but I want to elbow, I want to choose which direction I want to flare my guard to, and then I disconnect one of those elbows and have a vertical elbow or a horizontal elbow, okay? And I get a drill going, we learn to switch sides, boom. Now I'm on the other, bam, 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 all right? If I have my overhooks, same thing we did before. I had this disconnection. I have this frame here, so we're not glued, right? I have this frame. I wave it back a little bit, boom. I can have this nice, strong figure four grip, bam. Snake it in, bam. All right, awesome. Underhooks, exact same thing, okay? We are not doing this and loading that, because now it's creating space. It's almost like replacing my hand with my elbow. And of course we have our knees to strikes it too. Single collar tie, we just did elbows, but the same thing, hooks, uppercuts, uppercuts, hooks are awesome. If you watch Randy Couture at all, in MMA, bam, bam, you start mixing up, boom, boom. And that's what really our body should be doing, is keeping control, keeping heavy, and then working short movements, vertical, horizontal, diagonal, and we're just wrecking the face anywhere we can. When you're using jiu-jitsu, we know how to grab. We know overhooks, underhooks, we know clinches. Now, if you're thinking about jiu-jitsu for self-defense, where can you touch a little bit extra? You're just talking about headbutts. Bam, bam, bam. I can head them all day long. It doesn't matter, all right? Now you guys are gonna get overhook, underhook, whatever you feel control with. Give me some elbows, give me some punches, give me something. Then your choice. Do you want to hit Osoto Gari? Do you want to hit Ashi? Or maybe you do something else that's instinctual to you that you guys have trained in. And then your goal is to end knee on belly or standing position, not necessarily glued to the ground, okay? That makes sense? Let's go 3 for 3. Clinch it up. Give me some elbows or knees. Boom. Now steer them and go. And where's the elbow strike on the ground? You're talking about bam, boom. Bam, bam. Steer them, and good. Boom. Very nice. Yep, break the arm. Now, one thing I would suggest for Chris is we're drilling right now, and we're filling out. These guys haven't done this drill before. This is brand new for them, right? They've done the techniques, but not in this scenario. They're thinking right now, so they're relaxed that Chris is starting with his hands down. I would love to see Chris start a little bit more, hey man, like you're putting himself connecting to the drill, connecting to what's going on right now, and then he'll start covering up. Okay, so one more time. Yeah, that's it. Boom. Shells up, connects, bam, creates that angle, and nice angle change on that. Martial arts is about instinct, my martial art. So what works for him may not work for him. All right, go ahead. Boom, boom, boom. Good. So the only thing I would suggest for Cole in that one is, no, you're fine. The chunking it out, thinking about it is okay. But if I want to move a big man, a strong man, and I want to take him down, I might have to break some structure down first. So once you enter in, maybe get used to throwing a few elbows first, then steering them, then throw another elbow or two, whatever. So like I want you, if we are going to use strikes for jiu-jitsu, it's going to be used for a purpose. It's not, yeah, of course I would love to knock the person out, but my purpose should be to make my jiu-jitsu easier. By elbowing in the face, getting his body offline, getting him beaten up in the body, it's going to break his base, break his structure, break his concentration so that my techniques become easier, okay? Boom. Boom, good, creates an angle, nice, and stays on top and finishes. It's up, bam, good, boom. Oh, he didn't like that one. And good finish. Like when the intensity comes up, we're going like light intensity right now. We're not even going crazy. That it's not gonna look perfect anymore, okay? So when you're drilling these techniques in the beginning, you're trying to be perfect. How clean can I make my Osoto? How clean can I work my elbows? But when you're adding a little stress to it, it should fall apart to a certain degree. It should look a little bit messy. We started off our self-defense jiu-jitsu lesson. We talked about our position, our stance, getting long range, closing distance when an attacker want to get a hold of it. We talked about some strikes from elbows specifically and knees, a little bit of headbutts we can put in there, and then some takedowns. Two basic ones we use of the Ashi Bari. I'm definitely butchered that name, and some judo guy is gonna comment about how bad I said that name. I'll call it a foot sweep, all right, you fucks? Sorry. All right, we hit the foot sweep as well as the Osoto Gari, and we made sure we landed on top and a knee on belly so we could have 360 degrees awareness and finish if we needed. All right, let's take it reverse now. I got punched, kicked, taken down, etc. I am now on my back, person above me, okay? Who's got the best technical stand up here? I'll make you do it. Same thought process before, maybe Chris was talking to me, Cole came over, cold clocked him, boom. And now he's on his back, all right? So good. I want Cole now to be stalking right at the end of his feet. If Chris just got right up and faced Cole, like a horrible get up, obviously he's just gonna walk right into getting unloaded on. So there's a drill I do in the beginning of my every single class, shrimping to build height. Chris creates a little space, boom, he gets on his elbow, shrimps again and creates a space like Cole's charging him, gets onto his hand, and then he starts building his base and structure up backwards to his feet. And what Chris did exceptionally well the whole time is he kept that lead hand out there. That's that barrier between him and I, my opponent and I. Our fence just went to one hand because Chris had to use his other hand as a stability. He's on the ground now. It changes. Go back to that guard position for a second. Okay, again on your right hand, please. We call this a seated guard position. Actually, could you spin to the camera for me? Okay, we call it the seated guard position, and it's really just a technical stand-up position. But what's really important, this is a hand, and this is a hand. That's a foot, and that's a foot. What I mean by that is when, just get your butt up off the ground and float this leg. When Chris was hanging that. When Chris is getting ready to move, he needs to have stability here and here, and this could kick me. Bam, create some space to get back to his feet. This hand, you can settle back down. Yeah. It's like, how long can he stay there? Yeah, he's fucking strong. He'll do it all day. Do you believe if Chris's arm was bent right now, he'd be able to stay and hang out as long as possible? Absolutely not. You can bend your arm. Oh, good for you. He's fucking strong. Do you think if Chris's arm was not straight and long, that he would be able to keep me away? In fact, if he bent that arm, well, thank you. I get back on top really quickly. So when we're in these guard positions, initial get-up position, structure, the position in our body is really important. Chris's left leg lead right now. His left leg is forward, his right leg is back. He's essentially giving me a fighting stance, but on the ground. I'm spending extra time because it's so important. If he had, remember before when Chris was on his right elbow? Well, if we're doing lazy play jiu-jitsu, this might be great. He's kind of baiting me in a little bit. But a self-defense situation, a movement situation, I would argue, and you probably will agree with me, he's less mobile on his elbow with more surface area on the ground compared to on his hand. If I'm here, he can move around, track me, no problem. Go on your elbow. That sucks. That's much harder. I mean, he's letting me do it, but it's going to be much harder for him to adjust. So option number one, let's go back down again. As Chris slowly built up, he got on his hand, he shrimped to get his knee to the ground, shrimped again and moved a little bit, then get back to his feet. This is a very applicable one, especially if someone's grabbing you and you need to slowly build up. It happens against the wall too, okay, against a cage, that you're not able to just jump back up. You have to push up in the cage and slowly build your height. If he has speed and time, he can just post off this foot, post off his hand, and jump right back to his guard, or right back to his stance. Now he created 6-8 feet of distance in one beat compared to multiple beats. I get people in the beginning to build their height structurally, you know, shoulder, elbow, hand, to the knee, and to the feet. You've ever done a Turkish get-up, essentially what we're doing here. What I don't want to see, can you come back again? And get up to your stance, but bring your feet too close together. So say he jumps to his stance, and his feet kind of, yeah, perfect. It always happens like this all the time. this is not good for him, right? We can see this is almost worse for him than being on a knee. So when he do go, so do it right now. When he pops up, boom, he's nice, strong stance, nice, strong base, and then he's able to get back to fighting position really quickly. Cole's gonna do the same thing in. He's gonna come at Chris, and he's gonna hit him. Chris is gonna fall down. When Chris is instantly gonna start shrimping and moving, getting to a seated guard or his technical stand-up position, right? Cole is gonna stalk Chris, while Chris will track him and maybe use his rear foot to create some space and then pop back up his feet. Know what I mean by that? You probably see me do it hundreds of times in class. All right, go ahead. Bam, good. Moving, and that's it. Good, let's go back down again. Let's play the game a little bit. I want you to try to circle him, and you're gonna adjust your stance, whatever, and whatever you feel the timing and space. If he gets too close to you, I want you to think about using that right foot to stop him, that left hand, that I can keep my distance in the range and then get up on your own terms. Not bad, not bad. Again, it's okay. Listen, we're learning. I'm glad guys, we're martial artists. We're learning. No one gets to be perfect. They just knew we were filming today. I didn't tell them to train these techniques or specific patterns beforehand. Here's what we're fucking doing, is we're learning, okay? So they're doing the same as you. Boom, boom, I just check. I keep my space, I keep my range, I keep my, defense up. And I choose when to enter in. I don't let him dictate. Protect your spell first, protect your range, then you earn the right to attack. Backward roll as an escape. Yes, to a certain degree, right? Let's say what Chris means by what Chris is asking about, hey, have you ever done a backward roll or taught a backward roll to escape? I teach backward rolls every single day because there's a central movement pattern on the ground. And the act of getting knocked back and be able to roll back to your feet is actually a really important skill. For hypothetically, if I push Chris and he goes down, he just does a backward roll right off the bat. Well, that was pretty efficient, right? He created a lot of space and gone backward, right? And if he's in a seated guard position, and I'm charging, he hits that backward roll because I'm on top of him, yeah, maybe he's okay. And that's my point I was gonna make, okay? What you're gonna feel like when you do a backward roll is that you're almost ready to shoot, like a wrestler shot. So go back down that position for a second. I'm charging, he hits that backward roll. Pause. The low single, it doesn't have to go for a double leg, but my leg is here. He just like forehead inside or outside, boom, and runs into a single. Let's say I'm here, guys. I can't do a backward roll with my neck, but I'm in this position. If I aim my head to the middle, boom, I start wrapping deep and running my feet. I can't push my neck right now. I have a high chance of running him down. Boom, yes leg drive, and finish. The big answer is, can you backward roll? Fuck, you can do anything you want, right? If it makes sense in combat. If you've never done a backward roll and you have a gut that sticks out farther than your height, well, guess what? It ain't the smartest fucking move. Lose some weight first, get back to your feet. I probably shouldn't have said that, but let's be honest, athleticism is a thing.
Bring back fat shaming.
Fat shaming, yeah, we're renaming TriTac Fat Shaming, right, .com. Oh God, definitely lost a few subscribers. No fat shaming and backward rolls only when applicable. If we're talking about jiu-jitsu for self-defense, we have to bring up weapons. Well, I'm gonna so briefly on this. I do have other videos about weapons defense, both for stick, gun, knife. We're gonna go very, very basic today. We're gonna use some of the techniques that we already worked on. Okay, first, let's talk about the stick. We'll get to the gun in a second. Decent. The stick is gonna be similar as a punch to a certain degree. Most people are gonna carry that tool in their power hand, maybe a reach or touch, and then boom. Similar movement pattern as a punch. Instead of just coming straight out, it kind of comes at this angle. It's like a haymaker, but inverted. All right. If it's coming straight down the line, I don't think many people are gonna do this, okay? Most of the time you think about how that stick is coming right. And just like Chris was doing, same exact concept, right? We're gonna shell up, cover, overhook control, and takedown. Actually, I'll show you first and then how it's gonna work. I'm gonna use a shitty high guard block because I can't do it really well. So right now my hand, I get my left hand up and I'm trying to cover it. You can see how shitty it is, cold as dome me. I just have brainstem damage. I'm probably gonna take a nap, okay? So option number one, you guys can play with that, getting that hand up nice and tight and fitting in for your overhook control. Option number two, why don't you come over here? We call our jam technique or long guard to a certain degree. As he throws it, boom, we fit in long and I cover with my right hand here, okay? Now I'm exaggerating this position for a second. One arm over, one arm in front, and I'm gonna do the Osoto Gari takedown. So I'm gonna step to my left, bam, bam, and then clamp the elbow, and now I'm back into my technique. Just spin a little bit for me. Good, okay, leave this leg back so I don't cheat. All right, now I've got to get that leg. I'm back to my knees, bam, all right? I can back to my circle step to bring it in or bring that leg back. Or if I want to get a little advanced, I take a small step, hook, hop, and I'm down. Sorry about that knee and belly, it's part of it. I'm clamping with that elbow here. We're gonna use Jiu-Jitsu to break. 1, 2, 3. Throws that big hand, that punch, sorry, boom. Maybe I call him a thumb jab in a way, and even better. Boom. Offload him, hook, hop, trip, knee on belly. My forearm comes right underneath his elbow, locks into place. See, it's already uncomfortable. Hand locks his bicep, figure four grip, roll my shoulders back slightly, tap, boom. Clamp, think about the same process we before. Yep, step, angle change, and go. Boom. That sensitivity is a little weird in the beginning. No, I think you got it. Okay. And roll your shoulders back. That's it, yep. It helps me stay standing, but you're doing the right concepts. Boom, good cover, frames up. Maybe gives us a knee. Boom, then he goes to the takedown. Very nice. And
what if he turns his elbow?
I'm glad he asked that. Great. So watch, guys. We'll get into fun jiu-jitsu right now. Okay, we're here. Cole turns his elbow. Do you like that? No, it feels good. Or Cole turns his elbow. Let's teabag him. Oh, even better. Bam, bam, bam. Can you guys see me there? Okay, good. This is not good. So I got a knee on belly. It allowed me to lock him in place for a second. This arm is actually keeping him there. So I'm able to keep his elbow straight. If he turns it, we allow that turn. I step over. But when we initially look at that connection, it does a pretty good job at keeping him there. Okay, I want you to hit him a couple times. Boom, good cover. Bam.